Praful. Thank you for your speech. I think for a humorous story, you could lessen the tone a bit and be a little bit more comical in your expressions. Like Tony said, it was very serious, it was very inspirational, but the point was to keep us laughing, and so focus a little bit on lowering your tone. And the examples where he noted where you had the humor, a lot of the success of humor is creating that surprise or that twist, where you talk about you're taking us in one direction and then boom, so your wife is, don't forget my mom. You see, you can twist that way. Just think of those things for your final humorous project.
A quick comment I want to add to Parthi's comment about tone was that I think it's maybe because of the other club that you go to, where my club, Toastmasters, the people are a little farther away from the podium itself and it's equidistant. But in this stage, when you move closer to the audience, some people are closer and some people are farther. So if you raise your tone, it is a little difficult for the people in the first row to be able to appreciate the joke. I mean, it's too loud for the to be funny.
Jennifer?
I had one, I guess, idea, one line I liked you had when you were talking about your wife and how you had made the joke about the best part of my chest, and you said something like, my Praful's gone crazy, and you sort of did this, and then she loved. You could have played that up. You could have made her voice, you could have made her sound funny, my Praful's gone crazy, you know, and do the cheeks, like make it a really big sort of gesture, because that was a funny line, and you could have played that up to get, I think, more laughs for the audience.
Yeah, I think that part was well acted. You used the expression plugged in a lot. Is it a good choice of expression? Because it didn't feel particularly meaningful to me. And I was car shopping, so I thought about hybrids, and I was all distracted. Maybe aware, or are you there? Are you paying attention? Like that was Ed's catchphrase a week ago. Maybe a different word would have worked better.
I thought you did a good job about what the message was, and I think you can work a little bit on the structure. I felt there was not really any particular introduction that blended into a body and finally concluded. I think the message was very, very strong, but you can work on the structure.
Yeah, I think I believe the Are You Plugged In could have worked, but you didn't extend, you didn't work it. Are you plugged in? What comes after that? Now I don't mean this or that, and then that's where you could get your humor. You know, and keep the common thread throughout the speech. Again, are you plugged in? And say it differently. And I believe if that was the message, if that was your message, and you played with it that way, I think we would have been a little better plugged in. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a bit at times the jokes when you didn't use your whole body to deliver the jokes. You know. So I think that working, are you plugged in? You see what I mean? With the body movements, and as Jennifer said, with the expressions and so on, that would have made the speech a lot more connected with the audience.
Thank you.
And I definitely agree with everything said so far, and I believe I've gotten this in my head ever since Carlos told you about using the stage more. This felt more of like a lectern speech, because we were really all in the middle the whole time. And because there were more people on this side, I saw him going more this way and talking more this side. There might have been a chance to use more of the stage, if not just regular speaking like this way, you stand here but look this way, but also maybe during the airplane example, you can do a lot with that, and then land right in the middle of the border there, too. Chances for that. I want you to move around.
Yeah.
Fun.
Since 3 minutes wasn't enough, 3:30. I actually thought of something quickly. One of the things that the last keynote speaker that we had at the previous contest said
you could see that some of your jokes fell flat, and that's okay. It will happen from time to time, and you could try and have a few instances where you can try and recover from it by saying, oh, it was funny when I tried it in my other club. And I know we've all done that. The purpose of doing that is to kind of lighten it up and build more momentum for next time. Because if it happens 3 times, then obviously as a speaker, you're like, okay, let me just finish this. But how do you build up momentum with us so that you're more excited about the later ones? So think about that as well. Have a few of those sentences ready, just in case, and use them. That will help. Thank you.
Helpful. I got your point. It's to be in the moment. That's how I understood it. And I think your heart's in the right place for giving this speech. Now, where the speech started for me was your story about picking up your mother-in-law at the airport. That's where I started to really connect and feel your emotion. And it's an artistic choice, but I would suggest starting there at that moment when you realize that, uh-oh, you ever have this nagging feeling in your mind that you're forgetting something? And everyone's like, yeah. And then you could act out the emotion of forgetting, and then you have to run to the airport. And then what happened? Were you late? Was she late? Was it a problem? Was your wife mad? So all of that I was thinking about, but I really related on that emotion because I felt that. So I would develop that story. I think it's a great story.
Thank you. Well, let's not forget that we have a time limit on this segment. If you have any more comments for Praful, please tell him after the meeting.